Hi, this is Mike. I'm reading Robert Alter's translation of Exodus chapter 39. And from the indigo and the purple and the crimson they made service garments to serve in the sanctuary. And they made the sacred garments that were Aaron's, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, indigo, and purple, and crimson, and twisted linen. And they pounded out the sheets of gold, and cut strands to work into the indigo, and into the purple, and into the crimson, and into the linen, designer's work. Joining shoulder pieces they made for it. At its two edges they were joined, and the ornamented band that was on it was of a piece with it, fashioned like it, gold, indigo and purple and crimson and twisted linen, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And they made the carnelian stones ringed with frames of gold, engraved with seal engravings with the names of Israel's sons. And he set them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And he made the breastplate, designer's work, like the work of the ephod, gold, indigo, and purple, and crimson, and twisted linen. It was square. They made the breastplate doubled, a span its length, and a span its width, doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones, a row of ruby, topaz, and malachite, the first row, and the second row turquoise, sapphire, and amethyst, and the third row jacinth, agate, and crystal, and the fourth row beryl, carnelian, and jasper, framed in gold in their settings. And the stones were according to the names of Israel's sons, 12, according to their names, seal engravings, each with its name for the 12 tribes. And they made on the breastplate intertwined cordwork, chains of pure gold. And they made 2 golden frames and 2 golden rings, and they set the 2 rings on the 2 edges of the breastplate. And they set the 2 golden cords on the 2 rings on the edges of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 cords they set in the 2 frames, and they set them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front. And they made 2 golden rings, and set them on the 2 edges of the breastplate, at its border which faces the ephod on the inside. And they made 2 golden rings, and set them on the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod below, in the front opposite its seam above the band of the ephod. And they fastened the breastplate from its rings to the rings of the ephod, with an indigo strand to be upon the band of the ephod, that the breastplate not slip from the ephod, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And he made a robe for the ephod, weaver's work, through and through indigo, and the opening of the robe in the middle of it like the opening of a coat of mail, a border for its opening all around, so it should not tear. And they made on the hem of the robe pomegranates of indigo and purple and crimson, twisted linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and set the bells within the pomegranates on the hem of the robe all around within the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, on the hem of the robe all around to serve, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And they made tunics of twisted linen, weaver's work, for Aaron and for his sons, and the turban, linen, and the ornaments of the headgear, linen, and the breeches of linen, twisted linen, and the sash, twisted linen, and indigo and purple and crimson, embroiderer's work, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And they made a diadem, a sacred crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it in seal engravings inscription, Holy to Yahweh. And they put on it an indigo strand, to put on the turban above, as Yahweh had charged Moses. And all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting was completed. And the Israelites did as all that Yahweh had charged Moses. Thus they did. And they brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent and all its furnishings, its clasps, its boards, its crossbars, and its posts and its sockets, and the covering of reddened ram skins, and the covering of ochre-dyed skins, and the curtain of the screen, the ark of the covenant and its poles and the cover, the table and all its furnishings and the bread of the presence, the pure lampstand, its lamps, lamps of the array and all its furnishings, and oil for the light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the aromatic incense, and the screen of the entrance of the tent, the bronze altar, and the bronze grating that belongs to it, its poles and all its furnishings, the laver and its stand, the hangings of the court, and its posts and its sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, and its pegs, and all the furnishings of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of meeting, the service garments to serve in the sanctuary, and the sacred garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to be priests, as all that Yahweh had charged Moses. Thus the Israelites did all the work. And Moses saw all the tasks, and look, they had done it, as Yahweh had charged. Thus they had done it. And Moses blessed them.